Two boys, one podcast. Two boys, one podcast. Your movie connection. When it's time for reflection, we make fun of each other, then do film reviews. Winner or loser, is this movie right for you? Nope, it sucks. Don't press your luck. You better listen to us. Two boys, one podcast.
And a happy Halloween to the lot of you.
Jeez, good start. Hey, happy Halloween, everyone. Welcome to two... Wait, I'm a ghoul. I can't remember.
Goblins, ghouls, and ghosts.
The first year I said, welcome to two ghouls. And then you said,
Ghouls,
wait,
one
it was two ghosts and you were a ghoul.
And I was a ghoul.
Are you still a ghoul?
Yes. There's not a reverse spell for
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yes. That time of year, a little thing I like to call Halloween.
Halloween!
It's a very spooky time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? No, it's not really that spooky though, is it?
I mean,
I suppose it's more spooky than Christmas.
you'll be gone for Halloween. Do you have,
That's
what are you
we're
gonna do?
gonna get into that. With I'll be going to Germany to go to be part. I'm going to a wedding.
Yeah, you're in a wedding.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's a nice day for a Halloween wedding.
It's a beautiful day for a wedding. Yeah, friends in Germany, they're getting married and on Halloween.
Are you gonna
And ruining
have
my
them-
favorite freaking holiday.
Are you gonna have them listen to this podcast while you're
Well,
over there?
I'll be like, hey, hold on, hold the wedding. I gotta upload something.
I object on the grounds of podcast.
Testing.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah,
appropriate.
I think it is appropriate. I mean, yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I won't even get to probably be busy all day. I won't get to watch any darn horror movies.
I mean, hopefully you get the chance to watch some goldarn horror films on the flight.
Maybe. Icelandair, do they have them on there?
I don't know. I've never flown.
I'll find out.
You will fly. You will find out.
I'll fly
I was
out.
gonna tell
I'll
you.
fly out, find out.
I was gonna tell
Find
you
out?
on your way
Sure.
back.
Yeah.
Are you flying through Reykjavik?
Yeah.
The Iceland Airwaves Festival will be going on.
Airways Festival?
The Airwaves Airwaves
Okay.
Music Festival will be going on. It's supposed to be a fantastic music festival,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think that you should get off the plane
Mhm.
and go partake, and then get
Wow.
back on said plane.
I did strike up a friendship with Batman, and he's got that. Remember when he kidnapped that guy from China, and then he.
Yeah, so that's actually a real thing.
Yeah. Right. Well, there we go.
The U.S. government tested it in the Cold War,
Oh, cool.
and they used it on a thing called Operation Cold Feet.
We're not here to talk about the U.S. government. We're here to talk about Halloween. Damn it.
Fine.
My
You're
favorite.
right.
This is my holiday, and we're
It's
not
your
talking about
holiday. We'll do it
any
your way. Even
goddamn
though,
wars.
Welcome to Two Boys
cold
One
ones,
podcast, the
warm
Halloween
ones,
special, wherein Rob
lukewarm
disregards
ones,
all rules
room temperature wars
that apply to everything and does whatever the hell he wants.
It's a little chilly.
and then holds
wars,
me accountable
none
for
of
it
those.
later.
No wars.
No wars.
Just Halloween.
Hollow Wars. Hollow Wars. All right, so
yeah.
tell me a little bit about what you chose this year and why you chose it to like
Welcome
I
to Two Boys,
imagine
One
to like
Podcast.
thwart my
Two ghosts.
endeavors.
Yeah, so Halloween, this is a special, so new listeners, I'm sure you're listening to this one. The rules don't apply. Whoever's holiday it is, it just gets to pick 5 films. I think the only rule is the other one can't have seen it, correct?
So, yes,
I guess we'll have to have
That's
another
typically-
conversation.
it's typically the way it works within the
Holidays.
the linking, like our typical podcast. But for the holidays, I don't know that there are any rules specifically. I think it's just
We've
like,
always chosen one that the other one
we've
hasn't
always
seen.
done it, but I don't know that it's a said rule, a spoken rule. It just usually works
I
out that
suppose
way.
I guess
Yeah.
we'll see what happens, huh?
I hadn't seen any of these 5, so
Yeah,
it
so I
didn't
picked-
come up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
So these are just 5 movies that I like,
Yeah.
and I think are good for watching for Halloween.
They have nothing to do with Halloween.
Here it is. No?
No, not a one of them has anything to do with Halloween.
Let me think here. No Halloween. No Halloween. No Halloweens.
Literally,
What's your point?
not a one of them
Mhm.
had anything to do with Halloween. So what possessed you to choose them for this Halloween Spooktacular?
Well, they're Halloween movies.
What would define them as such?
I don't know. Like some
Just
guy
too
with
fancy?
pins in his head, or like
Sure, okay.
or like a snowman that kills you with icicles.
Yeah, over Christmas.
For instance.
For instance, over Christmas.
Or maybe, I don't know, like some sort of parasite alien.
Sure. Uh-huh.
That was what makes a Halloween movie.
Okay, so literally nothing to do with Halloween. Just something that you can watch in October. That's a horror film.
I know what you're doing, Zeke. Look, they at least fit the mood of Halloween.
And
your Christmas movies don't have it. I mean, they don't match the feeling. You know, instead of picking like something like Angels with Dirty Faces. Mm-hmm. Was there Christmas in that? I don't recall. There must have been.
No, there was no Christmas in that. The connection to Christmas in that was that Home Alone used as the influence for their.
But there's no feeling. It would be better for you to pick the other. Here's a spoiler coming for later in this podcast. There's Jack Frost.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horror movie. There's a Jack Frost that with Michael Keaton. That is not a horror movie, but a children's movie.
Yes.
That would fit the feeling of Christmas
it's
much
not
more.
A Christmas action film.
It doesn't. You're the one that imposed these rules upon yourself.
But you have Halloween horror, and not a one of them happens.
Maybe
over
I'm just smarter than you because I kept the rules to my holiday quite open. It has to be a horror movie. Boom. It's a Halloween movie for me. It has to be
Christmas action.
Christmas action, which pretty much none of them are.
That's not true. Last year you were giving me shit for 3 out of 5. This year, 0 out of 5 on Halloween. 0 out of 5.
Look, if I had imposed rules such as Christmas rules upon Halloween, you'd be correct, but I haven't. Okay?
So you're telling me that
this is it. We're gonna duke it out.
You're telling me that the person whose holiday it is the dictator of the rules for said holiday.
Yeah, and you gave yourself shitty rules.
You didn't give yourself any rules at all.
What about
mayhem, anarchy, and mayhem?
It's how I like it, baby.
It's chaos.
At least my movies fit a theme, and they don't just say, "Oh, it's 4th of July." One for 1 second.
It takes place over the 4th of July. Same as your movie did.
Yeah, but it didn't have a walking Uncle Sam
on
stilts, peeping through windows and getting
My
murdered.
Film made sense structurally in a way that your Uncle Sam never did.
God, I don't like you.
Welcome home, you son of a bitch. Trick or treat, you son of a bitch.
I don't think we'll ever come to terms with this, will we?
I don't think we will. It's gonna be our Vietnam.
Flashbacks.
I will die on this hill.
We need input on this.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I'm gonna ask around is Zeus.
I know who I'm gonna ask.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this podcast is done.
I think I know who they're gonna side with too.
We'll see.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe a special guest, huh?
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. Well, do you want to just dive right into this?
These Halloween movies.
These Halloween films.
The only weenie I see here is you. It's really small too.
Trick or treat, son of a bitch.
I think we're having a lukewarm war here.
Piping hot.
Piping
hot. Rob's got the face sweats.
So anyways, we explained the rules. We talked about what we're going to do.
Yeah, I think everybody has a firm grasp
No, wait,
on
what are you
rules.
doing? What are you doing for... Maybe I'll explain it again just to spite you son of a bitch.
What were you?
Jeez, what are you doing for Halloween?
I'll be in California.
Doing what?
Sitting on the beach, probably.
It's not very Halloween-y.
No, it's not.
Now I did it. Halloween-y's in my damn head.
Vocabulary now. It's vernacular.
Now I'm a vocabulary.
Yeah, now you are. I'll be out doing some stuff out in California, so I'll miss Halloween. We were making some Halloween-y plans, but didn't work out that way this year. So, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad neither of us are gonna have a good Halloween.
Yep. No.
Jeez, I hope my German friends didn't hear me say that. Woof. It'll be a great Halloween, just not a traditional. Because
that'll mean that you subscribed them appropriately to this podcast.
I'm sure we've had this argument so many times.
Yes.
So we're all gonna have we're just gonna have a shitty Halloween. I'm not gonna subscribe them.
You need to subscribe them. You got one thing to do.
I don't know how to read their phones. It's in German.
I mean, you just
I don't know
go
what
to
that
the
said.
YouTubes.
What's a blocking sniffing? I don't know.
I think that means subscribe.
That's you know.
Just hit
I don't
all
know.
the buttons. It's the safest
Hit 'em
thing
all,
to do.
okay.
Punch them all.
All right. Punch you.
Punch you.
Punch you. That's where I got my degree.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, so let's just get into these.
Punch you.
We've set the mood so well for Halloween.
All right, well, what's the first one?
I don't fucking care. Ooh, I busted out a fuck.
That's terrifying.
I don't care, man. Which one?
Wayne, do you want to do them in the order we liked them, in the order that we watched them, or?
You know what? You're the one that had to be subjected to my horror movies. So
All right, I want to jump into Jack Frost first.
Very good.
That's what I want to do.
There it is. I'm open to the page already. Go ahead. We'll just have that play in the background.
So this is how what that's saying is 5 years through 11 states and 38 deaths. Jack was nimble. Jack was quick. Jack gouged eyes out with candlesticks. Smashed in skulls with sticks and stones. Used iron bars to crush their bones. And he could hide his kills in tiny places, and he wouldn't have to see their faces. Is the way that movie opens.
Dickens couldn't have written a better poem.
No, I don't think he could. So this is a straight up Christmas horror film. The opening credits are on ornaments, on Christmas tree ornaments.
Boy, it sounds like it fits for Christmas for you.
It's a Christmas film.
It's a Christmas film.
Let's you and I take a little midnight stroll. The soundtrack on this film is just awful.
We should give him a little synopsis quick.
Okay, all right. So this synopsis is that a serial killer
His name's Jack Frost.
named Jack Frost is being transported to his execution at the beginning.
Yep.
He's killed a bunch of people. The FBI hunted him for
Put him in
years.
small places.
And then a backwoods, tiny town sheriff happened to catch him on a weird, he
Didn't have a seatbelt vest.
didn't have, he was out peeing in a bush, and this guy catches him. And he's like, "Get your license." And he's like, "Lay down on the ground." He's like, "Which one is it? You want me to get my license, or you want me to not move?" And he says, "Get down on the ground." And he pulls the gun.
Yeah.
And that's really it. That's
it.
From that they catch this notorious serial killer within the context of the film. He gets put on death row, and then somehow,
For some reason, they're transporting him somewhere else.
so they're transporting him somewhere else that he's supposed to be executed in a half an hour, and they're transporting him through a snowstorm. So they got to get him to the church on time.
Get him to the church.
Now, in the snowstorm, they run into another guy who's transporting this specialized acid, and he's pouring a really nice little cocktail in his thermos, and then he crashes head on into this prisoner transport, and then not everybody dies.
Detail.
Like Jack Frost and this other prison guard, they're okay. They're fine, unharmed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jack gets sprayed by this vat full of acid.
Yeah.
We later find out
this is gonna hurt.
this is gonna hurt, and we later find out that the scientists behind the acid, they're like, this wasn't ready for human testing. We haven't even made it past lab testing.
And then they were happy because
it worked.
Because they tested a human on accident.
Yeah.
And what happened to that human?
He became molecular attached to snowflakes.
Yeah.
So he could freeze and thaw himself in a
And he chose the form of a snowman.
He chose the form of the snowman throughout the film. Now, fun fact about this film is that they shot it in a location
And he goes on a killing spree, by the way, everyone.
He continues his killing spree.
Yeah.
He's an angry
Continues.
snowman.
Yeah.
And he just kills people with icicles, and
Christmas
I guess
ornaments.
he kind of
Axes.
humps a person to death in the bathtub.
Yeah, with this carrot nose.
I don't really
became a penis.
Yeah, I don't really understand. Is that what happened in there?
I don't. It's a bit nebulous, and I'd rather.
Yeah, sure. Just leave it at
That's
that.
an unpleasant one.
Yeah, I don't really understand how
for
that
me.
one works.
Well, the tone of your voice seems like you didn't care for it so much.
I did not like this film. The soundtrack was bad. The storyline was ridiculous.
Jeez.
The decorations and the police force were police crossing snowflake. Like the police crossing tape was cut into little snowflake chain people.
That's so cute.
The only thing that this film needed as a crossover was they needed Adam Sandler's Zohan to come and help thaw. Because later in the film, the way that they defeat this snowman creature is literally with hair dryers.
Was he a snowman?
They wanted to build a snowman.
That's not how they defeated him.
That's how they defeated him.
No, they didn't.
They used they used hair dryers and then they used antifreeze, which evidently still didn't work.
Yeah, it did.
So at the end, the moral of the story is that this police officer's son tries to murder him by putting antifreeze into his oatmeal because he doesn't want him to freeze to death. They find out that antifreeze hurts the snowman. The snowman bleeds with antifreeze, and then they
normal weapons don't hurt him.
Normal weapons don't hurt him. They stabbed with an icicle through his chest. He jumps through, I assume, a brothel window because everybody was moaning behind those doors. Yeah. And then leap into the back 2 stories down to the back of a pickup. And
filled
then
with antifreeze.
Wrestle him until he's just water. And then they bottle it all up and bury it.
Yep.
Only to rise again.
Maybe.
One day.
There's a Jack Frost too.
There is.
It takes place somewhere tropical, probably Hawaii.
Of course.
It's pretty funny too.
Of course. It just won't live and let die.
Reminds me of another series.
Shut up. What do you think of this one?
I think it's a lot of fun, Zeke.
Had you seen this before?
Oh, many times.
Many?
I don't know about, plenty of times, definitely.
All right. I mean, this was Shannon Elizabeth's first film.
Was she the one in the bathtub?
She was the one in the bathtub.
Ah, no kidding.
Yep.
Oh, she started out. There was no nudity, but
there was no nudity, but she was
she wasn't shy.
She was nude without showing it in the bathtub,
Yep.
And then that's the death where we're trying to figure it out without thinking too hard on what actually happened to her.
Did she get sexed to death by a carrot?
I don't know, because he didn't have his nose on.
He didn't. I know.
He
It's definitely implied that he was.
Yeah.
We just
We'll just let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah. I don't. The whole film.
Asks me, and then he doesn't even let me talk about it.
The whole film doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't even.
Why? What doesn't make sense?
The man.
Serial killer, way to execution.
Yeah.
Gets turned into a snowman.
Yeah.
Continues his killing spree. Lots of fun kills. Lots of great one-liners.
I mean, there were one-liners.
And then he's defeated. Perfect.
Okay. Great. Kind of defeated. Defeated in a way that leaves it open to make 17 more if they choose.
We should be so lucky.
Oh boy. So fun fact about this is they filmed it in a state where it didn't snow that winter. So they filmed it in 70-degree weather. And you can tell, like, this is rubber, it's styrofoam.
In which you don't like about it.
I don't. It makes it look like none of them actually know what snow looks like. It's like Arrested Development. Have any of you ever actually seen a chicken?
Yeah. It doesn't bother me one bit, obviously.
Obviously.
Adds to it for me.
Okay, I mean the rubber snowman costume. So this is a film I really thought that I would like more than I did.
Uh-huh. Well, it had been hyped up to you, hadn't it?
It had been hyped up to me. Yeah.
That's why I chose it, too.
I know.
I was throwing you a bone, Zeke boy.
I also don't understand the poster involves a face that is never seen within the film.
Yeah, I mean, that happens.
It happens a lot for
and
the films.
You hate it.
Every time. I will always bring it up, yes.
Okay, let's talk about some of these deaths.
Yes, okay.
Death by toboggan.
Yeah. So that's the other thing that doesn't make any sense. That's the first snowman death.
Yep.
No, second. Old Man Orchard got it first. They didn't show that one.
He got the cop too.
Before that?
Did he? The guard that survived, didn't he? He got it. Yeah, he did.
Not before.
No, the first death. He killed the guy in the back of his.
Oh, I mean, first snowman
kill. Yeah.
First snowman kill is Old Man Orchard, and then it's this little kid, the bully kid.
Yeah.
Shannon Elizabeth's brother. Little brother who's a dick. The thing about those toboggans is that their clearance is about 4 inches, and they called it the Black Ice Hill or something like that. It was just garbage slush in a driveway where there's no momentum, and then the kid's laying there, and somehow it's like a razor blade ice skate that goes over the top of his neck, cuts it clean off, and sends it flying. Like, the physics of it just aren't possible.
His head popped right off.
Popped right off like a Pez dispenser.
So, I mean, going back to Die Hard 3.
Yeah, the documentary.
John McClane is picked up by a strong guy, slapped like a rug against a...
Yeah.
I mean, what about the
Does
physics
that
to that?
happen in 3? I don't remember the strong guy.
That's fine. And so, I mean, that's a bit of a physics thing. Also, water in the pipe washes. We've had this argument. Water.
Yeah.
Why do we keep having the same arguments?
Because
Who cares about the physics?
It makes a lot of sense.
It was a cool death.
So
and I think they probably copied
Black Christmas?
No, it was
Silent Night, Deadly Night?
That's the one.
That's immediately what I thought of with when I said
It's an homage.
It was a strange homage. The Silent Night, Deadly Night was a better kill going down the hill. It made sense with the momentum. The part of this that bothered me the most, I think, was that this kid dies.
Horror movie.
And then
Death
the whole town's tiny. It's like 90,000.
That's a teeny tiny 90,000. That's a big town.
Okay, but within like all this murder spree, it's a small town to have this happen in.
90,000. There's that many?
That's what they said. It doesn't look like it. No one's ever there.
And that's their sheriff, and they have like two cops?
They have, like literally a handful of people. Yeah. There's some math that doesn't make sense. But he talks to the whole town and the community when they're getting these fake snowmen up for a big competition that's happening the next day or over the weekend or whatever. And he says hi to everybody. And his friend's son is the one that his son is accused of killing because of the bullying. Yep. And they're like, let's talk about it tomorrow. And he says, I can't talk about it tomorrow. I got to plan a funeral. Like that whole thing. Like the whole, I don't know. I feel like the family dynamics of this film were very screwed up before the killing even started. So that's all.
So your big problems with it are primarily related to science, physics, math.
Yeah.
Sociology, family dynamics.
The story structure entirely. I don't mind a world where this happens. I mind that there was clearly no budget. Yeah. Like literally none. Uh-huh. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that the story doesn't have to not make sense.
It seems like you've been fine with other horror movies.
I have been.
That don't have a plot and could be brain freeze. Excuse me. I mean, they're pretty much the same. They follow the same scheme.
Shannon Elizabeth and this other kid who's building a snowman with boobs, they're trying to hook up, and they're like, we're gonna go hook up at the sheriff's cabin. Like, why? Why? I don't understand the draw to go to the. None of it. It's just like, it's not even convenience for the snowman to kill them. It's just like, we're gonna go over here because we only have this one location permission to shoot in.
All right. I only asked you for a smoke.
Okay, I only asked you. So he shoves an axe handle down this guy's neck. Right before that, he's kind of cackling, snickering. He's like, "Hey, can I bum a smoke?" And then the guy is like, "Hey, is it Sam? Is it you? Are you here to make peace?"
Yep.
And then nothing.
Turned out it was a snowman.
And the snowman's there to kill him.
It's a mutant snowman.
Yeah.
You think he's an X-Man, Jack Frost?
Oh, I think so.
Better than Storm.
Yeah.
Well,
he brought the rain.
I don't think we're getting anywhere on this one, so I'm just going to run down my quotes real quick.
Do it.
Sally, when I want philosophy, I'll turn on Oprah. I'm going out to get some wood. And then he got hurt.
And then he got some wood straight down the throat.
Accident. And when he puts that axe into that stump, that was a huge tree. You don't remember it, but it was a big stump.
It was a big stump outside his front.
Your stupid face.
Outside of the front of his house. Yeah, he had to take that one down. Did you take that one down for him?
You had an axe in your stump, you bastard. Oh, it doesn't matter. All right, that's it. We're done.
Fine, we're done. What do you rate it?
You got to do yours because I don't have my thing.
All right. Well, So
unless
with
you
these,
need me to go first.
with these, I didn't pay for any of them. You had all of them.
So,
what's my fallback? $2.99.
Yeah, that is.
So for $2.99, we'll just say that I that's what I paid for all of these. I would say I would give this one 99 center.
33%.
Yep.
This one is a sex for sure.
You serious?
Oh yeah, baby. Huh? This is like a pleasurable carrot. Sex. We'll subtract the carrot off there. What is it? It's Sex for the first time after you haven't had it in a long time. Pretty good. And it went well, too. So that's how good it is. To me.
Okay, we'll just round that out of 50.
We're rounding out of 50, 75, 33. Okay, everybody.
It's probably more like a 78.
If you give any shits, I really like it. Secretly hated it.
Yep, that's true.
It's a good campy, fun little doodle.
Little diddle?
Little.
All right, what do you want to do next?
Let's do Hellraiser.
Hellraiser.
Okay, this one's an 87. Clive Barker.
Who is this Clive Barker fellow?
You don't know?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, he's a short story writer.
Okay.
He also makes some. And he does novels too. Horror novels primarily is what he's known for, but he does like sci-fi. He's directed a number of films. Artist. Weirdo.
Okay.
You really never heard of Clive Barker?
I mean, I feel like I've heard the name. I've never associated it with anything specific.
Not even Hellraiser.
No, never seen
Okay.
it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You want to give the synopsis for Hellraiser?
Sure. Let's see. There's this guy. His name's Frank, and he's really into experiences, sexual mainly. And then he finds this box, and it's a puzzle box, and he figures out the puzzle. Next thing he knows, these dang weirdos pop out of nowhere. They're called Cenobites, right? And now he's stuck in a world of pain, and they're doing all pain and pleasure indivisible. But I think it's mostly just pain. I don't think there's any pleasure. Anyways, they're torturing him in a different dimension. And then he did that. That happened in a house, but then his brother moves in with his wife. He got hurt by a nail. Blood drops on the ground. Ground sucks it up. Frank's back. He's a skeleton muscle thing guy. Turns out the brother's wife, she had a thing with the skeleton when he had skin.
On her wedding day.
On her
wedding
She
dress.
didn't seem too busy.
No.
On her wedding day. Anyways, turns out she brings over men that she picks up at the bar. They can kill him, and then he'll be able to turn back into a human. Daughter finds out the brother had a daughter. She finds out the whole scheme. Hilarity ensues. The Cenobites come back. They're not happy. They want the daughter. And then they want Frank. House implodes.
That it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this just proves the old adage that all zombies truly need is love, not brains.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
The
Based on a
reassembly
short story called The Hellbound Heart.
Really?
Yep.
I did not pick that up. He
adapted it himself.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. So, I feel like a good like turned down story lane is glowing door plus absinthe equals bad things.
Yeah.
And I think it's the worst possible puzzle box ever created because everyone who touched it was able to figure it out.
Oh, I see. In that, I thought you meant.
And they said, "Hey, some people think we're angels, some people think we're demons."
The Cenobites said that.
Yeah, the Cenobites said that. And under no circumstances do I think anybody ever misconstrued them as angels. Like, they do horrible things.
I mean, presumably they go to other dimensions other than Earth. Maybe some of those other dimensions are, real fucked up.
I mean...
Not buying into that, huh?
No. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Chains.
So the thing about it is,
With
like,
hooks.
the wife of
Julia
of the main guy has an affair with the brother Frank, and then she's like
Uncle Frank.
reminiscing this whole time about what it was like to be with him, and would do literally anything to be with him again.
Just one night too.
Just one night, and he got up after and said, "It's never enough," and walked away. And that somehow bound her to him. Like, he could literally care less about her, clearly. and she will literally
She's
do
in love,
anything.
man. You do crazy things for love, baby.
They move into this building that should be condemned, where Frank is kind of tethered because he died there. I don't know.
That house was fine.
No,
that one
they
room.
have rats, and they're not even thinking anything of it. Like they have
they
a lot
obviously
of
took
rats.
care of it.
No, so they walk in there, and
called
there's
in
just
sick.
rotten food everywhere. There's rats eating everything.
Frank didn't keep a very tidy
And Frank's
house.
brother's like, I suppose it's better than Woodland. And you're like, what the hell's worse than that? Like, this place looks like it's been a hovel forever.
I didn't completely disagree with that. There
Doesn't
was some
make any
bad
sense.
a hovel.
Yeah. So also, like in a
Get outta
house
here.
like that, it's impossible to be quiet. Yet Julia just slink, quiet. The daughter tries to go up the stairs. Oh, creak, no problem. Immediately.
You just came into this holiday just ready to hate, didn't you?
Ready to do it. There's no likable characters in this whole thing. I guess the daughter.
Not even
kind
Julia?
of. Not even Julia.
What about yeah? What
Isn't
about
she the wife? No.
Oh, you're right, Christy.
Christy is the most
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
kind of likable character that there is.
What about the boyfriend that could flip a cigarette around in his mouth? I liked him.
He was okay.
I like the Cenobites.
I like the the makeup was fun.
Pretty iconic, buddy.
Makeup was fun. Like I can't
Makeup.
makeup. I liked the weird.
I was gonna ask you which was your favorite Cenobite.
I'm gonna go with the scorpion tumor.
The fat one?
Yeah, the one at the end. Who
Oh, that the creature more
Yeah.
than like the humanoid.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was cool.
I liked him.
It's very carpentry.
He seemed like a nice fellow.
Reminds me, he did. Didn't he? I'd like to meet him.
Yeah,
And,
I'd like
and
to.
a-
I'd
and a
like
gr-
to sit down with him.
in some sort of like a hallway that's glowing and probably a different
For sure.
portal to a different dimension.
Yeah,
That'd be okay.
can't lose him.
No,
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
I like the chatterer.
Sure. Yeah, it reminded me immediately of Return of the King. I
Hmm.
wonder if that was
Yeah.
an influence for that, or if I guess Tolkien had been an influence in his description for this movie.
That's a good question.
Couldn't tell you.
Just so you know, the names of the Cenobites were Butterball,
Mm-hmm.
Chatterer, Pinhead, and Female.
Oh,
Which I think is kind of bullshit that they...
yeah.
Female.
Which one was that?
Well, she was the female.
I didn't realize that there was a female.
The one that had the throat open.
Oh,
at
really?
The neck.
Okay. All right.
Throat open at the neck. Where else is the throat?
You could have it throat open at the back.
Throat open at the back.
I don't know. So every time that Frank killed a person, or I guess that Julia killed a person to feed to
Or
Frank,
they did together, yeah.
yeah,
Suck
Frank would
up
say,
the- suck up
"Don't look at me."
Don't look at me.
And I felt like I probably should have not looked at him either.
Some pretty good effects.
There were some great effects. I mean, that,
Especially
I'm
first
being
when
hard
he
on it.
when he comes back the first time.
That was really cool.
Jeez.
That was really
is-
cool. I think Julia has a lot of problems.
She loves a good meat sack.
She loves a good meat sack.
Yeah.
Flesh bag.
Flashback. Yeah.
One of the that's
Couldn't
this is
remember-
probably
I
what
can't
this is
remember what
from.
you were saying.
Yeah, one of the things that bothered me though about her character was that she did not understand the concept of washing blood off.
Mm-mm.
She would go to the bathroom and kind of wipe
Yeah.
some things off and walk out, and there was still blood all over her chest. Like it's
Well,
just
she
like,
wasn't feeling well, I guess.
Sure, she was
Brother-
never
brother
feeling
would
well.
be like,
God,
oh, I guess she's a little splotchy from sickness.
I mean, I guess.
I thought her obviously her love for him was very strange, but at that one part, I think Frank was still a muscular system, and he just shoves a finger in her mouth, and that's like sexy to her.
So
It was really weird.
This has a lot of strange things that I think we're supposed to perceive as sexy in it.
Were they though?
I don't think any of it was attractive
he's supposed
at all.
to be. Well, he's like a commandeering, like masochist, sadist. So
Sure,
maybe they were just displaying that. I don't know.
but it seems like she was definitely into that.
Well, I guess she was the masochist. He was the sadist.
All right, I mean, there you go.
There was some great cinematography, particularly the scene where Christie's with the guy in the subway, if you remember that. Very nice tracking shot.
So there was some, like, the effects, the camera, like the cinematography was very well done. It's, I think, the story of the characters where there isn't really anybody you care about. I mean, Christie does do, I don't know how many more of these are. There's at least 3 or 4.
Oh, there's like 8.
Yeah. So
She's only in the second, though, that I can remember.
Okay. So she's in more of them, which is great because she is certainly the best part of this film.
Julia is, too.
How?
You'll see.
I don't think I will.
Next year, baby.
Oh, great. I walked right into that. I don't.
I like 2 better, actually.
Really, that's not surprising at all. I don't mind Christie's performance. I was wondering, like, she has this weird. There were some weird cuts, but one of them was she's running away from the house when she finds out that. She grabs the box and runs. So when she finds out that Frank's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Why did they need to show her running? Why?
Well, why not?
I mean,
she was scared.
But why did they need to show her run? She did it poorly. It doesn't make sense.
I guess to get to the end, because then she passes out and they take her to the hospital, right?
They take her into the hospital, but they could have easily found her panicked somewhere.
Well, then she has to run by those nuns.
Who gave her a double take at Scowl, which was completely out of context. There's no reason they should have known.
Okay, fair enough. What does it matter? It's not that big of a deal.
She's a terrible runner.
I see.
That's what I'm getting at. Terrible.
You really need to come on the movies as a running consultant. Okay?
I should. No running, if not done appropriately.
Bad running.
Should be done on
terrible
film.
Physics. Family dynamics are all screwed up. Oh, all right. A couple of questions I have.
Yeah.
The homeless man. What does he represent? Was he also the man that gave him the box? Is he?
Oh, you mean the old Cricket Beard himself, the original protein shake?
Cricket Beard.
Yeah, Cricket Beard.
Yeah. Captain Cricket Beard.
Captain Cricket Beard.
What's he represent?
I have
He's
no
obviously
idea.
Associated with the box.
So when I saw him the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, it's Brewster McCloud." And then later at the end, he is basically Brewster McClouding the whole situation. He's the Birdman.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. He's like the guardian of the box. This film was a straight up slow burn. I really liked the IV shot though in the hospital.
Yeah.
Where the blood goes back into the IV and it pulls up in reverse.
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Good.
I like the head covered in blood. Everything's fine. Everything's good.
Okay.
My nerves are hurting.
Be okay.
Everything else is fine. He can't keep his blood in his body. It's fine. Also, one question. I know it's a little nitpicky, but I would like an answer. He comes back because the brother's blood drips in that room.
Yep.
Cuts himself on a nail moving a mattress.
Yep.
And it brings him back into skeleton form. How did he bring the switchblade back?
When did he lose it?
I assume.
Presumably went with. I keep saying presumably went into the. Cenobites realm with him.
Presumably he was clothed too. He didn't come back with the clothes.
Cenobites took him there at the dry cleaners.
Okay, so he just had the knife wasn't relevant. He was like, yeah, you can keep that. It's fine. He honestly kept opening this thing like you would see in a weird, terrible West Side Story gangster before the snap. Switchblade.
Play it cool, Jack. I don't know, man.
All right.
Magic.
Everything's fine.
Do you think it was in England? They made it seem like it, but there were a lot of American accents.
Yeah, it didn't have any really notable English accents that I picked up on, but
some of the guys she picked up were.
Yeah, that's true. I would say I would have guessed yes, England, but I don't know.
It was set in England. I knew the answer to that.
All right. Well, then why'd you ask me?
Why'd you ask me? Okay, some of my favorite quotes, unless you have more.
No.
No tears, please. It's a good waste. It's a good waste. Did it again. It's a waste of good suffering.
Okay.
It's good.
That is a good line.
Old
Cricket Beard.
Cricket Beard. Of course, we got old Cricket Beard. Jesus wept, of course. It sounds like you'll probably be weeping. This podcast.
He says that right before he's ripped apart again.
Yeah.
With a
he's
laugh.
Smiling.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cool.
Sure.
Doesn't make much sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
We have such sights to show you. That's good.
All right.
Well, you know what he's saying. The sights is gonna be torture, and
yeah.
You just stick a pole up your pee hole.
I really don't understand the puzzle box, man.
How maybe they want people to get tortured, so they made it easy. There you go.
Right, but she's able to manipulate the puzzle box in her first attempt and destroy everyone.
Destroy it? Yeah, I guess you're right. Just sucked them back in. Sucked him right in. And of course, come to daddy.
He says that a lot. There's at least 5 times in
Come
the film
to
he says
daddy.
that. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm just going to say, like, glowing doors plus absinthe equal bad things.
And my moral is you always, gee whiz, always watch out for the muscular system in the closet. Always.
Always.
Never
Always
trust
check
it.
the closet for the
Yep.
muscular system. Sure. That makes sense.
Okay.
All right. You want me to rate it?
Yeah. Duh.
So based on the $2.99, I would give this $1.25.
A little better. $1.25, not quite half, but almost.
Almost.
Well, you're really a hater.
I'm not trying to hate.
Okay. All right. Take it easy.
What choice, boy? Sex or the saw?
So this one gets sex again? And
I
this
feel
one...
shocked.
You do?
I mean, it's based on, like,
What's the-
intergalactic
don't care what you-
corpse S&M, so why wouldn't it be sex?
That's right. I mean, how could I? Pain and pleasure indivisible?
Yeah. Evidently not.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
So did Frank.
So did Frank. So
Come
this
to
one
daddy.
is a really good romp in the old sack.
Great. The
You
flesh
know,
bag.
You're going for like,
The old flesh bag.
3.5 minutes, which is really a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's really happy. and
impressed,
she
yeah.
says that it's the best. Yeah. Right.
Sure. Yeah.
And she's being honest too.
Yeah.
You can tell she's being
Mhm.
honest.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You want a percentage?
Yeah.
80%.
80.
80%.
All right, so we're around 62 now. Somewhere in there.
Boy, Halloween's really flopping for the old Zeekster this year, huh?
All right, so on to
I
the
had such a
next
good
one.
record too.
Did you?
Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Really, that I liked? Above 50?
I don't know exactly your ratings, but I remember you were pretty pleased with everything except Suspiria.
That's true. Suspiria was a rough go. Yeah. I didn't realize Suspiria was a Halloween one.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I didn't really care for that.
I know. That's why I just said that.
All right. No, it's the next one. Oh, Cricket Beard.
Oh, Cricket Beard. It's your
The first protein shake.
Go ahead and choose yourself.
All right, for those of you just tuning in to the middle of this thing.
Welcome to Two.
With me, as always,
One
Last Seen
Rule.
Camping, Smoky Spooning, Robert, Giddy Up Compadre Layman,
I'm
and
a
I are doing
ghost
the
now.
Halloween special. Let's do...
Why are we doing a mid?
I mean, I just
mid-break?
wanted to do an ad break, that's all. Let's do Phantasm.
Did I ruin it?
No, we're not actually going to cut to an ad.
No, we could do. Anyways, all right, here we go. Phantasm. It's a 1979 kind of science fiction. Well, more it's horror science, but it's got sci-fi.
Science horror.
Science horror. Boy, I wonder what you're gonna say about the physics of this one.
I call it Phantgasm.
Phantasm.
Fangasm.
Fan?
Fangasm.
There it is. First thing I gotta say, love that theme song.
It's very John Carpenter-y.
Yeah, it is.
Did he do it?
I think they're in the same. Yeah, pretty. We've looked up Halloween's date so many times, and I feel like it's 79 as well.
Okay.
I'm probably wrong.
So I don't know which one you watched. I know there's a couple versions of this film. I watched the Bad Robot restoration.
I've probably seen them all. I don't know. I know I've seen several versions.
Do you want me to do the synopsis on this? I'm not really clear on what it's about.
Sure. My first note is story's a little convoluted.
Sure.
All right, so there's A. Michael Baldwin. I don't remember his name, but he's living with his brother. His parents died.
Mike.
Mike, that's right.
His character name is Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
Notices something suspicious at the local funeral home.
He's a delinquent. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a delinquent, but he notices the caretaker has remarkable strength, able to lift the coffin out of the ground. Or maybe it was just on the stretcher thing, that little lifter thing. Either way, he's real strong. So he says, boy, that's sure is fishy. So he breaks in there. And what does he find? A bunch of dwarfs. So it turns out...
Little Jawas.
Little Jawas. The tall man, the name of the... Caretaker? That's not right. Funeral home director.
Caretaker and tall
funeral
man are
home.
two different characters. Yeah.
All right, so the tall man, well, he's your main villain, and he's taking dead bodies, and he's compressing them down somehow into little dwarfs, which he then sends to another dimension to be slaves. And Mike enlists the help of his friends, his brother, what's his name? Billy? John. Terry. Jody! And, of course, everyone's favorite ice cream man and musician, Reggie Bannister. Anyway, and they go on to fight the tall man and his horde of little dwarf folks. And there's a flying ball that hits you in the brain and then sucks all your blood out.
Yeah. That's a pretty good synopsis. Every time I tried to think about how to break this down, I could not.
And it turns out it's all a dream, too.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I didn't know if did we enter in a situation that made it apparent that this was possible to be a dream. It's all at the end.
Yeah.
We did enter in. We would pick up right in the middle of it.
Yep.
So he's dreaming that he's on a motorcycle. Because it's clearly not all a dream.
I think it was.
Based on what happens in the mirror at the end.
Yeah, dream came true. Sometimes they do. Dreams do come true.
Really?
Yeah.
Great.
I'm here with you, aren't I?
That's true. Dream come true. So within the dream opening, it's a hell of a way to break up a trio.
Which is the whole movie.
Jody and Reggie have a third friend, Tommy,
He done croaked.
who kind of had. So for whatever reason, the cemetery is a pivotal, just a pivotal place to hang out within the context of the story.
You go out there to make out.
You go out there to make out. You go out there to have sex. You go out there to joyride.
Yeah.
So Tommy in the opening scene is banging the lady in lavender.
Yep.
And she turns out to be the
tall man himself.
Tall man,
He's just going around
just
porking.
a flesh bag. The tall man. So he turns and then when he appears, he stabs whoever he's on top of. And then Mike just starts joyriding in the cemetery, doing wheelies and
it's dirt bike.
Dirt bike. Dirt bike.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. You can't ride around in a cemetery on a dirt bike. I feel like that's going to be shut down right away.
Like you said, he's a delinquent.
He is a straight-up delinquent. Also, they did a terrible binocular shot on this. I hate when they do that.
I know what you're saying.
Mike is when he's not joyriding in the cemetery, he's spying on what's happening with these binoculars. But when he gets back on the motorcycle, the binoculars are never with him. So I don't know where he must keep
saddlebags.
He must keep the binoculars in the same place that Frank kept the switchblade. So, but he does this binocular shot, and I don't know if no one has ever used binoculars before. When you see binoculars up on the screen, they get you to two circles.
Yeah.
But when you use binoculars, you don't ever see the two circles.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
I don't think you've ever used binoculars.
It doesn't make any sense.
How are we going to know they're binoculars? Otherwise, it's just going to be a zoom in. We got to know.
I mean, you can have
That's
one
why they do
circle
it.
on the screen. Like a little offset, like an obtuse circle.
It's like an alarm pirate with a patch on the other eye?
Yeah.
You need the two.
No, you don't.
Sure you do.
No. So then you have Reggie's ice cream. And one fun thing, I was always curious why he needed an ice cream truck. It's not relevant to the story at all, except that he now has a truck that's big enough to hold a body later.
Yeah.
And then when they throw the body in, he's like, this guy's not going to bleed all over my ice cream, is he?
It's a good quote.
That's a good quote.
It's a great quote.
That's a great quote. Reggie Bannister, right there. Yeah. So I was I'd never seen any of the Phantasms before, and everybody had been offended that I'd never seen them before. Because I've worked with Reggie, and I honestly thought that he was the tall man.
Oh, well, you're a buffoon.
I know, clearly.
How did you think he was the tall man? Look at him.
Well, when I worked with him, he looked like the tall man. And you're looking at the poster
he's not
like
tall
it's been...
enough.
But you're looking at the poster that's been illustrated, right? So, I don't know what's been done with makeup and stuff like that. So,
in '79, I suppose they did some pretty good work back then, didn't they?
They did. We talked about the good stuff on The Exorcist.
That's true. We did do that.
And honestly, the guy that played the tall man was Angus Scrim. He doesn't look like a normal person.
He passed not too long ago.
About 2.5 years ago. Yeah. But he doesn't look like a normal person. So, I assumed that was makeup to make him look that way. But.
Okay.
And actually, so J.J. Abrams, to get to this restoration project, J.J. Abrams is a big fan of the film. He had reached out to the director of this
Yeah.
And wanted to screen it for his staff, and the director was like, well, it hasn't been updated. It's only like a grainy standard def, or I can give you the 35 millimeter. And JJ was like, let's fix this. And then JJ actually had Angus Scrimm as a recurring role on Alias.
No kidding.
No kidding.
Didn't know that.
Yep.
This was directed by Don Cascarelli.
Yep.
He also used Angus in a couple other films.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw that in there.
What
do you think of that sphere? Pretty cool.
I don't understand the flying sphere. I did like Bannister with his. He said this a couple times in the film. He'd be like, "Yeah," like snap. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't understand why he did it, but he was gung ho on the whole thing. Also, the Dunes Cantina established 1956 or 36.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you notice the deck on that cantina?
I mean, I'm remembering it, but
they have a giant, like 8-foot horse statue that's on the deck, which means they don't use the deck much. Not sure why they put it there, but that's where the lady in lavender would lurk.
The Dunes.
The Dunes.
I think they'd be like, boy, that girl's picking up a lot of people.
Picking up a lot of people that suddenly go missing the next day. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a real big. Maybe
Sleeping
it's a town of 90,000 that seems tiny.
I mean, sleeping with a bunch of people in the cemetery that we never see again. And she's always wearing the same dress.
They're all dwarfs now.
Yeah.
Huh.
So
okay.
I did like when Mike has looking through the photographs at the other two random girls' house that his brother sends him. Stay with these two other random girls that we never see again.
Well,
I did like the video.
Into the sun, into the darkness.
They literally
they were there to get killed.
Reggie says at one point, "I let them out. They're fine. They ran off." That's it. There was a My Name is Legion book that they made very apparent on the book stand. I did like the video zoom on the photograph that revealed that the tall man had been working there like a long time, not aging.
Kind of an it thing.
Kind of running the evil Jawas.
He's been at it a while.
Yeah. Hey, Reg, bring your truck. Yeah, that's
I like that quote, huh?
That's what Jody says at some point. Hey, Reg, bring your truck.
Good quote, Nick.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What about the hammer with the shotgun shell on it? I thought that was cool as a kid. I remember thinking, boy, that's so cool. Think that would work?
I mean, it's not impossible, but it would not have worked the way that he did.
Well, of course not.
Yeah.
I mean, he killed himself, I'm sure.
It just explodes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, but he would probably kill himself the same way that Tommy killed himself at the beginning. Tommy gets stabbed in the chest by some weird dagger that the tall man takes with him every time he turns back into the Lady of Lavender. But they say, no, hell of a way to end a trio. Tommy kills himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stab. Jeez, that's some Romeo and Juliet shit, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Or was that just poison? I don't remember.
Romeo and Juliet.
He stabbed himself, didn't he? Who gives a shit?
I think one of them. So Romeo and Juliet is just Antony and Cleopatra. So I think Romeo stabs himself and Juliet drinks poison. I think is what happened. It's been a while. But.
Been a while.
Yeah. So I mean, as long as you don't get blood on your ice cream, you're good to go.
That's true.
Maybe it's leak. This guy's not going to leak all over my ice cream, is he? Because it's yellow. It's like a yellow pudding.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Some pretty good practical effects on this as well.
There are. Yeah.
Pretty good cinematography again. I like the ambiance.
I like
the music is good.
I like the crypt.
The lighting is good.
The stuff in the crypt looks good.
It's a great crypt.
Really nice crypt. It reminds me a lot of Videodrome.
Interesting.
And Video Dead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Any other video movies that reminds you of?
No.
Okay.
Just those two.
Why Videodrome?
I'm not sure what it was, but it immediately, like within the first... What was the Stephen King one we watched last year?
We didn't watch a Stephen King one.
Yeah, we did. For Halloween.
No,
He was like an author. It was
Sam
gotcha.
Neill. At the Mouth of Madness?
At the Mouth of Madness. That one as well.
Yeah.
We're just kind of, like, there was a lot of stuff going on. And I couldn't really keep straight what was real and what was not. And in the end, it seemed like none of it was real. And then all of a sudden, you're like, no, it was real. And now I really don't know what's going on.
Dreams do come true. That's the moral of this one.
Sure.
Dreams do come true.
You can do anything.
Dreams can come true.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to get your town murdered by a tall man and turned into intergalactic dwarf slaves? It can happen.
It can, not only can it happen, it did
happen.
Yes, that's a good moral.
That's a dream.
That's it.
That's the dream.
That is not a dream. That is the dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's the dream.
I mean, There you go.
I mean, if you're going to be squashing corpses to turn them into dwarf slaves for your home dimension, why not just kill everybody? Which they do. I forgot about that. And how do they bring them back to life? They never covered that.
No, there's just
I
this,
guess
this
they fill 'em
weird
with- they fill-
gaping hole in there with a bunch of...
Oh, now that I've seen, I know. No, I don't. Thought I remembered from the sequels what was going on, but they do cover the spheres.
Great.
The spheres are pretty freaking cool. Everybody's just glossed over it, but they're pretty neat. They go buzzing around the room, and then they come out with these two hooks. Those go in your head, and then a drill comes out, goes into your brain, and then somehow sucks all the blood out of your body. That goes shooting out of the other end of the sphere.
It doesn't suck it out. It's just like catapults it out.
I think it must be sucking it out.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Well, I don't know. I guess in horror movies, physics doesn't apply, so maybe the body is just pumping it up. I don't know.
I mean, I don't understand physics. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to rate it?
Sure.
You want me to go first?
We don't need to hear it. I'm going to give it 6 again.
Figures.
Well, it is my holiday.
That's true. You do you.
6. Boy, this is like a great weekend of sex. Just going at it. You're having fun. You stopped for some pizza. It was really good pizza. And then you went at it again. All your favorite stuff.
Really?
Check it out.
I'm going to give this
That's not
one,
as good as it gets, though.
99 cents out of $2.99 again.
Jesus. So we're probably at, I'd say I'd give it an 85, which would bring it to...
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop,
Probably
beep,
same
beep,
as
boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep.
Jack Hellraiser then. 50,
Same as Jack
50,
Frost.
55?
Around
No, but I gave that one. I gave this
yeah.
one higher. So.
All right, that's true. Yeah, around 55, 60.
Oh, boy. Okay.
All right, on to the next. You want to do
99
Slither?
cents. What did... Boy, I can't believe you didn't like it that much. Yeah, let's do Slither.
All right. So, Slither is a James Gunn film.
Mm-hmm.
You want to give the synopsis?
Sure. It's your turn. You give one.
I honestly don't remember how this thing started. Like, what causes the...
There was a comet.
Was it a comet?
Yeah.
So, somehow these leeches are infesting humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really no rhyme or reason to how they get inside you, I guess. They have to go in through the mouth. They have to go in through your mouth.
They impregnates them. Oh, no. Yeah, right. So he turns them into some sort of flesh-eating machines.
Yeah.
But they're pregnant with all the slugs because remember the lady in the barn.
Yeah, she pops.
And that's where all the slugs came from. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're the ones that went in through the mouth.
Yeah.
So Michael Rooker is this like deadbeat husband who's out horning around on his wife who has no on switch, played by Elizabeth Banks. And Nathan Fillion is the local sheriff who is in love with her.
You got the hots for her.
Yeah. And they kind of like each other, but
she's married.
But she's married to Michael Rooker, who doesn't give two shits. And he ends up being like patient zero.
Yep.
And then these leeches just kind of run rampant on humanity.
Taking them over.
Yeah. And
into a hive mind alien.
And then it's a hive mind alien. So I don't know a lot about what happened here. So my note on this, because this was the first one that I watched of the 5, and it just says Halloween, the holiday where Rob gets to do whatever he wants, and then complains about it when I do Christmas. So this is some sort of like eczema and it's just like let the hunt begin. At some point, somebody says ho ho ho, which makes it more of a Christmas film than Halloween.
According to your rules, that is accurate.
Yep. There's just I don't even know what the end goal of these creatures is, just to like take over the earth.
Assimilate every creature there is.
Okay.
At least the humans.
And Elizabeth Banks and Nathan Fillion are always fun to watch. But you made the note that this is basically the Blob remake.
It's not exactly. It was a couple of things I had, especially you've never seen the Blob, you said, but it's a comet comes into space and it's a big it doesn't take you over like that, but it consumes humans to become bigger.
Sure.
Which was pretty much what old Mr. Rook was doing.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a movie called Society, where there's aliens that sort of have some sort of weird kinky sex by like melting into each other.
Okay.
Which was at the end, if you remember, people were
They're melting. They're like they're going like into like one giant hive.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I also thought it had some parallels to The Thing, if only an influence.
So this was at some point. Rooker says, "It's my nature, ain't it? How can you blame someone for acting out their own nature?"
Yep.
And that reminded me. Isn't there like a Scorpion and the Frog parable? Like not parable, like a folklore kind of thing.
Yeah,
and the Scorpion says, "It's in my nature."
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I suppose that's the end. I mean, that's exactly what they were.
Yeah. So there's no dealing with it. Snake love is better, I guess.
Wedding vows count.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Meat fridge.
Yeah.
Don't they just say meat?
Meat.
Meat. When you go shopping, you just have a meat fridge?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Mr. Pibb isn't any Coke I like.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense too.
Goddamn Mr. Pibb.
Mr. Pibb.
You hunt a deer and you eat a sandwich, you got the Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's how you get the Lyme's disease. So Weasley is a town that's got a lot of problems in it. And Michael Rooker just kind of makes them a lot worse.
Sure did.
Yeah. He also cheats at foosball.
Does he?
He does.
Maybe you're not good at it.
I mean, I'm not great at it, but I don't cheat at it. Yeah. But it is interesting to see that this was directed by James Gunn, because James Gunn, in connection with our previous podcast, Howard the Duck, is the same guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy.
You put Howie in there.
He put Howard the Duck in it, and he also has Michael Rooker in the Guardians 1 and 2. So I feel like this is the start of a beautiful relationship.
He cheats better at.
He might cheat better at foosball. Yeah, that could be.
He looks like something that fell off my dick in the war.
That was a funny line.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. What was the Shakespeare quote I have here? There was some Shakespeare quote that you had mentioned.
Had I? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I had made a note to be like, what's the Shakespeare quote? Oh, it's because there are no new stories, I think. So that's what we're talking about. No, nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. It's true. Okay.
Yeah. So
Elizabeth Banks never looks like she ages.
no, she does. She and Paul Rudd, they don't age. But I did like seeing Nathan Fillion in this. I really like his work.
People really do like him. Again, I'm not saying he's bad. I just don't think always me with the range. It's just always the same character. It's a good character, but it doesn't.
Sure.
I've never actually seen him act.
Sure. I can see that, but I enjoy that character.
Yeah, very good.
How did they actually destroy these leeches? I don't remember what the...
So they took he's got those little impregnator tubes that come out of his chest.
That's right.
And they stuck it into a propane tank.
And then they shot it and
they turned it on so that reversed it back into his stomach, and then they shot the propane tank.
I remember now.
Storla.
Yeah, and then at the end there's no payoff because Fillion and Banks are not. They're just star-crossed lovers.
Well, they probably get together afterwards.
I mean, if they ever made a sequel, we'll never know. You'd probably like that one better anyway.
Yeah, I probably would have.
Yeah.
Phantasm 2, by the way, I like that better. Did I say that?
Yeah, I said it made a lot of sense. But at 35 minutes in, somebody says ho ho ho, and that makes us a Christmas film. Which means so far it's 50-50.
Very good, Zeke. Very good.
All right, you want to rate it?
Sure, I'm gonna give it 6.
Sure. Shocking.
What's this one? Boy, oh boy. I guess I'm not. This one's like a really good role play, where you're both like really digging it. It's like you haven't done it. You're a married couple and you haven't done it in a while, so then you spice it up. pretending to be an FBI agent, and then maybe she's the FBI agent, and you're getting arrested, and the next thing you know, you're doing it. And it's really passionate and stuff. Yeah,
Great. So, I think that
it is pretty great, Zeke. Jeez.
I think that this one was. I didn't mind this. It was fun to see James Gunn earlier. Like, all I know him for now is the Marvel films.
Yep.
Really like the cast. Like, Michael Rooker is reliable as a character player. Nathan Fillion I really like, as I've established. Elizabeth Banks is always fun to see. Just from that alone, I think it's worth watching. This is also, I need to make note, like, this is the second weird that you like the actors in it.
I guess
Sure.
give it a chance, but I mean, time after time we've been burned by that.
I mean, so absolutely, but again, time after time, there's really no other reason to go.
I suppose you're right.
We're not watching the trailers for these things before we pick them. But I did like the cast in it. They delivered well. I think this is the second weird bathtub scene in the 4 films we've talked about so far. That was weird. Weird bathtub deaths.
Yeah.
I would give this, out of the $2.99, I would give this a $1.99.
Pretty best one so far. We're at about a.
Is that low? If that had been
66?
the first one we talked about, would you have said that that's low? Was $1.99 low?
I don't know. That's a 66%.
Yeah, I feel like that's a passing rating, right? Like,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, compared to last year, is that really low?
couldn't tell you. I don't remember exactly.
You said you were doing really well, 9 out of 10.
That you liked, but I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not counting percentages.
Okay,
over
but
here.
you count this one as me liking it? I feel like I
I'm
liked
kind
this
of
one.
liking it.
I liked this one. All right, I'll just say like.
Okay, all right.
I'll say 225. 225.
Okay.
That means I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. It was an okay film.
Good enough. So this is probably so far the highest rated.
Yeah, by
Let's
far.
see if this last one can.
Over $1.
I think this one's probably getting. Mine was probably like a. I really do enjoy this one quite a bit. Probably like a 90% for me, and for Zeke. So that's probably like a.
Like a 78, 80 even.
Somewhere in the low 80s, I would
Yeah.
think.
I think
Maybe
this is a fun movie.
Math's hurt.
Yeah, and the practical effects are really good.
Fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good.
Spectacular special.
Incredible. Yeah.
If nothing else, this year had a lot of good special effects.
You did. That is one notable thing of all 5 of them, is that it had some pretty.
I love some
good
good
practical
practical effects. That's what I said this year. It's number 3. Two boys, 2 ghosts, and a guy.
Yep.
So that, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Well, that brings us to the runt of the litter. Your good taste is 1987's bad taste.
Another great theme song.
There you go.
Okay, what'd you think of this one, old boy?
So
I guess we gotta do the
the
synopsis.
synopsis. You want me to try again, or you just want to?
Sure, I can do it.
You do it. Yeah.
There's a bunch of space aliens in New Zealand.
In intergalactic hamburger meat harvesters.
Fast, yeah.
Yep.
They're a bunch of aliens, and they work for an intergalactic fast food chain,
Mm-hmm.
and they're harvesting humans for their meals.
Intergalactic
Yeah.
hamburger meat. Yeah.
And so the government, I guess, sends in the boys.
The boys are psychotic assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, and they go duke it out with these damned aliens.
Yep. That is true.
I mean, that's pretty much it.
That's a pretty good synopsis. Yeah. It's somewhere, like, I feel like it had to have been influenced somehow by Ghostbusters.
Okay. Why do you say that?
There's aliens instead of ghosts,
Okay.
and there's a small ragtag team trying to stop them. That's
Sure.
the similarity.
Okay, all right, sure.
Um,
I mean, you're probably right. I mean,
But
I don't know. If
we watched the behind-the-scenes documentary on this, and it's Peter Jackson is the director.
Yep.
It says it's its 10th movie, 12th movie?
Well, I'm sure they were counting all those.
All the
small-
shorts,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
unfinished
yeah.
shorts, right? So I feel like this is his first feature.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
yeah,
a
I
safe?
think.
So the president or whoever sends the boys
He's got a
in,
prosthetic
he's
finger.
got a prosthetic finger
His
that's a
hand-
lighter.
Well, his whole hand's cut off, but instead of a hook, he's got a finger.
Yeah. Yeah, well, so Peter Jackson, he plays 3 characters in this. I was only able to notice 2 of them.
Only noticed 2.
But his first character, his most prominent character within the series, that he's the human character.
Derek.
Playing Derek, and Derek's Don't Run Away, which we'll find out later. Yeah. But he says, I've been
Derek's
watching the skies, and they pointed. Do you know what they said?
No, I don't remember.
They said, they pointed to right here.
I remember that.
They pointed to right here. And so that's why they're there, like studying the grounds.
Mm-hmm.
And what's their Astro Investigation and Defense Service. That's the part that reminded me of the Ghostbusters.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. So,
interesting parallel I would not have thought of.
I really, like, of all the films, I was really impressed by this. I think a lot of it is that it made me like Peter Jackson a little bit more. It was a hell of an undertaking.
Yeah.
Not only like how they did it, but the fact that he wrote, directed, and played several characters within it in a time they were splicing film. Like, I don't know how he even did it.
He's a good multitasker.
But I mean, the editing, I don't know. Also, where are the good-looking Australians in this film? I feel like Australia is known for ridiculously good-looking people, and there aren't any in this film.
This is New Zealand.
Sure, New Zealand. Okay, so there are no good-looking people in New Zealand?
No, not a one.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense
now.
Black. Derek's Don't Run, Patty Cake, AK-47, bitch.
Pretty good.
So I really liked that this was funny and awkward on purpose.
Yeah.
Like it kind of embraced the fact that they didn't have anything. There were the Jackson's mother in the documentary said that she was like, this is like really horror, and he said, "Whoa, Mom, there's a laugh for every drop of blood," and I feel like it was just a fun comedic horror film. He's popped its rivets. You can wring out my striders for pants.
I thought that meant shoes, but you're probably right. It would make
maybe
more sense for it to be pants. You can't really wring out the shoes.
Maybe they were sopping wet. He was just gonna like pour it out like a bowl of soup.
There you go.
I don't know. See, they did the binoculars thing better in this one. I made a note of it. The binoculars were actually done better in this version.
Well, they did have practically 10 years to perfect that technology.
So there is a head punt at some point in this picture where the guy rip his head out and he says, "The old magic is still there."
He ripped the guy's. It was like a fatality in Mortal Kombat. He ripped the guy's head off with his
bare hands.
Yeah, and the spine came out.
Yep.
I don't remember who did that. Scorpion? Anyways.
I think it was Scorpion.
Yeah.
And then I don't understand what the ooze was for. Like, there's a lot of things in this that I don't get, but I'm able to look. Like in this one, I'm able to look past it because it was a fun film.
Yeah, Peter Jackson's character, one of them, Robert, pukes into a bowl and hands it around to his coworkers and boss.
Yeah.
And the boss says, "Exquisite bouquet." And then he takes a little sip and he goes, "Aren't I lucky? I got a chunky bit."
So my note on that
that's
scene,
just their food. That's nice.
But he's like reading a list of nutrition that came with it that was gonna like give them strength to take over mankind.
They're aliens, so it's a special thing. And then even the human, he tried it and he thought it was
he went back for seconds and they got mad. They looked at him strangely.
Yeah, well, he's a glutton.
That's true. He was a glutton. He took 2 bites.
You're taking up all that space.
So I mean, my note on that is that the secret of the ooze?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, now we found it. It's been great.
They've been just ingesting it.
They've been doing it all wrong.
I guess it's not that much. Anyways, that is the secret. We found it.
Oh, well,
that's good.
Now we shared it with everybody.
Did you catch any of when he was talking about what they were going to prepare the meat into? The only 2 I could catch for sure were sapien burgers and homo nuggets.
That's what you were talking about, homo nuggets.
Yeah, he listed a whole bunch of
sapien burgers.
Stuff,
yeah.
I have sapien burgers, homo nuggets. And he said several other things, but I couldn't.
That is funny.
Yeah, it is.
There was also...
This is a very gory movie, by the way, everyone, but it's very schlocky. Like, you could, like, rubber masks. Like,
yeah, it's not horror. It's just, like, comedic horror. Yeah. Yep. But it's not as gory as Dead Alive. Nope, not as gory as that one. But it is comparable. I feel like they really complement each other well. Like, you could see his growth for Dead Alive. Absolutely. The El Rancho... I liked the scene where his companion was walking by and got like sucked in by 9 people.
Yeah.
And then they used
not stupid.
They used people, like they used their own alien kind as a battering ram.
Yep, they had that on there too.
For as intelligent as they were, they really didn't understand the fortitude of metal versus wood.
Well, they were third class.
That's true. They were third class employees.
Yeah.
I liked I didn't like. So I think it would have been more fun if they hadn't had just generic weapons. I think it would have been cool if they would have had their own like space weapon thing.
That's true.
But I get given. Not even given the confines
it's a
of the budget.
corporation. You think corporation's going to hand out weapons? No way. Get down there and find something.
You'd think
even
it
if
would
it's
have
a
been
little rock
easier.
hammer.
I guess they didn't have to do the tracing, but they were hand placing on the frames the gunfire.
Yep.
So wouldn't it have been just as complicated to do like lasers or something?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to just find like mallets and hammers and stuff.
That's true. They were using croquet mallets and sledgehammers and little hammers.
I think budget-wise, it was probably just easier to use stuff. And as far as the story goes, because I'm surprised you're not having big cow about that. It's a corporation, third-class workers. They say, get down there, get us some human meat. You got to use what you can find. So there you go.
So I did mention that there's a lot of things that don't make sense about the story, but again, like I didn't. It never took me out of the story. Like the fun nature of this film didn't take me out of the idea of the plot holes. Like if you buy the premise, buy the movie. The other films, the plot holes take you out of it immediately.
Okay.
And you're like, what the hell is going on? In this one, you're like, I don't know. That guy just grew a giant head.
Of course, I don't agree, but okay, I see.
Yeah, I liked this one better.
All of a sudden, the guy grows a giant head.
Yeah.
That's true. That is what happened.
And then he flies to outer space in a house that's carrying Peter Jackson and spins around on a lithogram.
Yep. Peter Jackson, one of his characters, Derek,
so
falls off a cliff. That's when he pops his rivets.
Pops.
Yeah. But then he was fine, other than his skull.
He lost all of his blood, but his skull cracked open and his brains fell out. But he's fine. He'll be okay.
Well,
which, given the context of how we usually watch films, I usually say he'll be okay. And this time I didn't say it, and he was.
Boy.
Damn it! Missed opportunity.
Haha. Yeah. So now that I think about it, that's kind of dumb. That is when the dummy, when he hits the rocks, big splash of blood. But he's essentially fine except for one piece of his brain, or of his skull, has opened up and his brain keeps falling out of it. That was the only real injury he sustained, it looked like.
Yeah.
No broken
bones. And he really couldn't
cuts.
Form cohesive sentences anymore.
Well, I mean, his brain was falling.
That's true.
And then he had to hold his skull shut to keep his brains in.
Yeah. Yeah,
he
sutured his head with his belt. But his pants didn't fall down.
Top hat. Belt.
He forced a big hat on. It's a big hat. It's funny.
It's a big hat.
Yeah. So
and at one point he shoved some alien brains in there because he lost some of his. He stepped on them.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And he's just lost in space now.
Any brains is good brains. Yeah. At the end, the house that all the aliens are in blasts off into space. It was a spaceship the whole time. That's how they got there. And poor Derek, he's with them, so he's going to go take on the aliens.
And he did.
Take on the man.
He did, with the chainsaw.
Yep. Which, the best death of the movie. Derek nosedives 1 floor up to the boss alien's head and pops out the bottom.
Yeah, straight down. And he comes out and
so
he's like, I'm born again.
Throw his skull out his crotch.
Yep.
I'm born again.
Mm-hmm. So he has a great chainsaw death scene. He has a constant brain popping out problem, and he has the best car I've ever seen. Like he's just got this fun little clown car. Yeah, which his friends commandeer later at the end of the movie.
I think they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you stood up to drive it.
Yeah. You had the opportunity to.
It's like a two-deck bug.
He had the Beatles riding along with him. The cardboard cut out of the Beatles riding with him.
That had to do with anything, but just funny, I guess. He's going ape shit.
Overall, I think it's a great first feature for him that he intended. He intended to make a 10-minute short, and instead made a 90-minute feature over 4 years. And I'm really impressed that he plays 2 characters that fight each other.
Yep.
And he has a very different physical appearance. Yeah. And he makes it work. It looks good. Honestly. Yeah. I honestly was like, you're wrong. I'm going to find out that he has a twin brother.
Yep.
But no. It's just him. He made it work somehow.
He made it work.
Yeah.
He had a dream and he made it come true.
And that's what we've learned from this podcast is that dreams do come true.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah. We're living in a dream.
Wouldn't it be nice?
Wouldn't it be nice if Peter Jackson
captured
directed
more
all our
of the horror
dreams in real
movies?
life?
Get back to horror, Pete. Come on, Pete.
I really think that he and Guillermo del Toro should collaborate on something.
Sure.
More than just, hey, let's take a roll on this and butcher a fantastic trilogy.
Sure.
Let's actually do something of our own. I think would be really cool to see.
That would be interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
That would be interesting.
It would be interesting.
You want to rate it?
Maybe
You have
someday.
something else to say?
Something else to say. Oh, they saved New Zealand. That's great. That's it.
This film is kind of funny. YTK, he did a film called Hunt for the Wilder People, right before he did Thor, and I really like that. It's a kind of a farce action chase across New Zealand, and I think that when they did the film for What We Do in the Shadows, they thanked Peter Jackson in the credits.
Yeah.
And they said, well, if you shoot in New Zealand, you got to thank Peter Jackson because none of us would be here without him.
Nice.
And after seeing this, I think it's probably very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man's a goddamn national treasure.
He is. Not
Just-
in the
not
way
ours.
that Nicolas
Not
Cage
ours.
is for us. He's the national treasure for New Zealand.
I don't like that. You can even compare those two.
But I did.
Very good.
But I did.
But I tried. But all right.
Are we rating?
Sure thing. Sexer the Saw. This one. It's like you had sex, but neither one of you are too happy about it. It was okay.
All right. So I'm a big fan of going toward, like, when you have a director that you really like the work of, going and watching the first films that they've done.
Sure.
So that's going to play into this one a little bit.
That's fine.
I would say, based on $2.99, I recommend $2.50.
Holy cow, look at that. And I'm the one bringing it down.
You brought it down.
Son of a gun.
Yep.
This one's probably sitting around 60, 65,
Yep.
maybe 70.
Yep.
Probably 70.
Probably 70.
So it looks like Slither's the big winner this year, huh?
Slither wins. This one's second.
Slither for the win.
Snakes don't walk. They slither.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, happy Halloween, everybody.
Everyone, have a very scary and happy Halloween.
Yeah. You too, man.
I hope I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the listeners, you damn ghoul.
Fine.
How come you can't see me? I'm a ghost.
Well, you're, like, by the time this airs, you'll be in another country and I'll
That's
be in another
true.
state.
Oh my goodness, and we'll still be fighting.
We still will be. We'll be at
Everyone.
war.
Have a happy Halloween.
Goblins, ghouls, and ghosts.
Until next time, always remember, don't be a sucker. It's been a slice. I still can't remember the third one. And if you need us, just whisper.
Whistle.
Whisper this time.
Okay. Okay, love you.